Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and I'm going to be starting off a brand new series covering the game Stellaris. Now, this is a game I'm quite excited for, and I have some familiarity with Paradox Grand Strategy games. I've played a couple of the Europa Universalis games. I have also played a couple of the Hearts of Iron games, and I have also played CK2. And I've enjoyed all of them, but I have by no means a vast amount of experience in any of those games, and I wouldn't say that grand strategy games are usually my forte, but I do enjoy them. But I wouldn't expect the most expert play out of me when it comes to Stellaris. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, I have created my own race, and I'm going to probably start things off at a slower speed here, because this is the first time I've ever played this game. And although, as I said, I do have familiarity with other Paradox Grand Strategy games, I think there's quite a bit of divergence in the way that this game is played and the other ones I have played. So the race I have created is the Foundation of Testoran Research. This is the Testor race on the planet Test. Can you get the theme here? So this is our first test race. So my idea for this race, and I'd like to roleplay a lot of the races I play as, but the idea of this race is it's very much a science-oriented and research-oriented race. So I set up the government around that, so it's a science directorate. We have Xenophile for one of our traits and Fanatic Materialist, which is going to give us a boost to research across the board. We're intelligent, which again gives us a boost for research across the board. We're weak, so we're not particularly good for ground combat. And we are quick learners, which gives our leader an experience gain. Our home world is an ocean world. We're using lasers as our base technology. This is our ship type, and we're using hyperspace travel. Now, this isn't necessarily the quote-unquote beginner travel method, but I thought it would be an interesting selection. So let's go ahead and hop into things. And because we're going to be starting off somewhat slow, I think I'm going to start with a small galaxy. And elliptical is fine for me. We're going to do, I guess this is the suggested number of AI empires. We'll go with that. And difficulty normal is fine with me. Allowed FTL method will allow all. And we're not going to be using Iron Man mode because this is the first time we're going to be playing. So let's go ahead and start. Alright, we've loaded in and we have a bit of introductory text for our race. It says, in the eons since the first primitive Testor communities took shape in the archipelagos and lagoons of Test, our civilization has spread and prospered. Through scientific progress, we have managed to stamp out the superstitions that ruled the minds of our ancestors. As reason and rational thought spread among our people, the inefficient nation-states that we had until then organized ourselves into were disbanded, and a council of our most accomplished scientists was gathered to rule in their stead. Now, after the discovery of the Hyperlane network, the finest minds of the Foundation of Testoran Research have finished the development of the first hyperdrives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. Okay, so
Greetings, Director. I am Veer, a prototype synthetic intelligence developed by the finest minds of our civilization to serve as your advisor. I shall endeavor to perform my duties with the utmost efficiency.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and begin with a full tutorial, but if it gets too tiresome, I guess we could maybe turn it off later. It says this option. Alright.
An excellent decision. You will have my full support.
All
Building
right.
a star empire can be a daunting task. To help get things started, I will be providing instructional missions that cover the basic steps necessary to establish ourselves as a successful interstellar power.
Alright, so our first mission is to fully survey our home system. Alright, I took a moment to familiarize myself with the interface as well as go through some of the more basic tutorials. So let's first take a look at our place in the galaxy. So here we are, and if we zoom out, we can see the galaxy map overall. So we're pretty close to the center of the galaxy here. Now, all these little lines, if I'm understanding our travel method correctly, are the hyperspace lanes that we can travel along. So we can only travel to stars that are connected to us. So if we want to travel over to this star, dim, well, we have a line directly connecting us to it. But if we wanted to travel to, for instance, this star over here, we'd have to circumvent all through these stars to get there. Or more simply, for instance, if we wanted to go to this unknown star, we'd have to go to dim first, then jump to the system. Now, I have already progressed with our initial tutorial here in the situation log, which was to survey a home system. We also got a tutorial pop up for technology research, so we're going to be doing that in a second. But first, I'd like to focus on the science ship here. So this is the science ship, and all I did is I told it to survey the system. So if I right-click on any of these planets, I can either survey them individually, or I can survey the entire system, and then it just automatically plots as it did here. So it started off with the closest unsurveyed planet, and it's just going to work its way through the system. All right, and we were going to do the research. So let's take a look at that in the situation log. So it wants us to research. It suggests the New Worlds Protocol will enable us to construct a colony ship, which we should focus on as soon as possible. All right, so let's go to the technology screen and take a look at what we have. So we have our scientists in the 3 science fields: physics, society, and engineering. So let's first start on physics. Now, the way this game works, from what I understand, is you have a set number of researchers that you can select. And you only have these set number of researchers to select from initially, but each time you research a new tech, which research cards you have available will change. Now, because of our, I think, government, we get an extra research to choose from. Normally, you'd only have 3. We have 4 to choose from. So for physics, we can either choose fusion power, which gives us more energy capacity, which I believe is that energy credits, because these are our currency up here. So we have energy credits, we have minerals, we have influence, and these are our science categories. So we're gaining this. This is how much we're gaining per month in each of the category fields, which currently we're even across the board. We have strategic resources, which currently we don't have any of. So I'm guessing these are special resources. How many planets we can directly control? We only have 1, but our cap is 5. And then our naval capacity, which this is more or less our force limit, if you're familiar with the other Paradox games, which is currently at 12. And that is influenced by a number of things we can see in this tool tip. And currently we only have a 3. And I think we only have, we have 3 ships. So I guess the science ship and our constructor ship are not part of that. Another ship that we have here is the constructor ship, which allows us to build structures once we've surveyed the system on different planets that are non-habitable. All right, so anyway, we were looking at the technology here. So this allows us to get a fusion reactor, which I'm assuming we install on our different ship designs. We can build a physics lab. We can get a solar panel network, which, what does that do? Oh, okay, so it reduces the operating costs of our spaceports. So currently, we have maintenance that we have to worry about as far as our energy credits go. And I'm not sure where the spaceports would be, under ship maintenance or building maintenance. Not sure, but this will reduce the operating costs of our spaceport. So we currently have a spaceport, and we could, I guess, install this on there if we wanted to. And then we have energy storage capacity increased even more so than the fusion power, and it unlocks the building power hub, which I'm going to assume is an upgrade building for our planet. All right, so that's definitely a decent number of things to pick. I'm leaning toward this solar panel network, actually. Nothing else is really striking me as being something that we necessarily need right now. Although this would allow us to get more energy credits, which would be good too. You know, I'm gonna select this. This sounds like maybe a good idea. Okay. I think we can also change the research at any time if we want to change our mind. So if we want to go back to one of these other texts, we can. All right, so we've got society, and here we've got New Worlds Protocol, which is the one that it suggested us to do. We can also do a biolab, which is similar to the other research lab we can do, but except it has a society leaning, so it produces 121 as opposed to 211, which is what the other lab would have done. Naval capacity going up. I don't think we need that yet. Leader lifespan and food production. Well, food production I think is good, but I think we'll go with the suggested tech for now. And then we have engineering. So let's take a look at that. So we've got mineral storage capacity increase, and we get Corvette assembly yards as well as spaceport level 2. So we can upgrade our spaceport with this tech. It looks like it costs more resources to get, though. And then we have an engineering facility, which, again, is just like the other labs we've looked at so far. Mining network, which is going to be an upgrade of mining buildings to get us more minerals, and we get more storage capacity. Similar to the tech that we're already researching for our physics. And then we've got another power plant, and it also reveals a resource. Oh, okay, so they're very efficient energy resources. Well, I would be between these two. Either get a better power plant, which of course would mean that we don't really need this one, do we? We get that better. Oh, but it requires the resource. Interesting. You know, I think maybe getting one of these resources would be a good idea early on to see how that mechanic works. So let's go ahead and select that. Now, as far as our scientists go, their special abilities mostly just give them buffs to research overall. But it looks like there's different tech fields that if you had a scientist that matched that tech field, you would get a boost. But currently we have a 12% boost in physics and engineering because we have Spark of Genius researchers. And here we have a 7% bonus because we have Maniacal instead, which is just a 5% bonus. Okay, I think that's pretty good, though. I guess we could go to our leaders and recruit other ones if we wanted to, maybe. But currently, we already we have a cap of 11 leaders. We have one governor, who I haven't really looked at. It looks like he gives me research for the most part. And we have our research scientists as well as a scientist on our science ship. So let's see if we were to recruit another one, what we've got. So this one has an expertise in this particular category of 10%. So from what I can see, this is actually a really good trait because this specialty is only 10%, but this guy, he gets 10% for everything. So that sounds pretty darn good. That's not too surprising, though, that we have that, considering our science lean here. It looks like our cost is influence here. So I don't think we need any of these guys, because the best we can get is a flat 5% bonus, which we already have at our worst. So looking good there. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the planet here, test. Let's look at our surface. So currently, our population is working certain areas, and it looks like we have already some buildings constructed. Let's see how this works. So we have this population here working this one food. Out of curiosity, what does the food do for us? Increase the growth rate of population. Okay, good. That works very similarly to the way it works in Master of Orion. So we could get some more resources here, though. I mean, there's a lot of minerals here. So Let's see what happens. We can build a structure here.
Some buildings may cause adjacency effects to other buildings in neighboring tiles. Let us take this into consideration when constructing new facilities.
Okay. So in this area, we have minerals. So we probably want to boost that up so we can get a mining network here, which is going to produce, I'm assuming, an extra 2 minerals. Okay. So let's go ahead and build that. It's going to cost us 60 minerals, and it's going to take some time to do. All right. So that's going to be being worked on. And I guess we could move this population point now over to this tile, because that's going to give us more minerals, and minerals is a main resource. It will slow down our growth, though. And we also have another mineral-rich area here. And then this is just engineering research. Okay. Then we have some areas that we can't access without clearing, and that looks like it takes a fair amount of resources. So do we focus on minerals for now? Because it looks like a lot of the things cost minerals. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to put that guy there, and I can see it's already boosted that up. And we could build another... What is this? Mineral silo. Oh, so this is the thing that increases our mineral storage capacity. Interesting. So, would we want to do that here? Or would we want to produce more? What's our current cap? Our current cap is 5,000, when we're nowhere near that. Okay, so I'm just going to do the mining network instead. Okay, and I think that's good for now, as far as construction goes. But this looks pretty self-explanatory and easy to follow. Alright, let's take a look at our spaceport now. Do we want to build any ships? So, we can also put a module on here, but we don't have any modules. So let's see what we can build. We might want another science ship, but that's going to cost us 100, so we're going to have to wait for that. Alright, so we might as well go ahead and progress. So currently, we're surveying here. And hopefully this gives us something for our construction ship to do. Alright, so yeah, it has. So, I believe we select the construction ship, right-click, and we can build a mining station, which we can just barely afford, as a matter of fact. It gives our construction ship something to do. You know, another thing we can do, if we go to the Empire screen, should we be sending our military vehicles out to the different stars? Oh, what does this say? Habitable planet. There's an ocean world, which is what we use, so that's good, and a tropical world. So should we send our fleet over to investigate? Or is that something we're already getting data on, because it's giving us information here about the fact that there's things there? Let's grab our military fleet, which is this, and let's send it over here. I'm curious to see how this works. So let's follow the military ship here. Or didn't we cue them to move? Oh. I expected them to come over here, but they just did it wherever they were. Okay, we want to go where they are. How do I do that? Oh, there we go. So they're in the system now. And this is the ocean world. Okay. So I'm assuming that if there was something else in here, we would have encountered it by now. All right, so that's very cool. So I kind of expected them to have to come over to where the lane was, like we see here. This goes to Tesla. But it looks like they can jump no matter where they are. So if we were to right-click here, does that cue them to go to dim? Let's just check that out. Yeah, okay, so they're doing the hyperspace jump right now. So they don't have to move over to the hyperspace lane. They can do that pretty much anywhere. It just takes some time to gear up for it. So we can see here, it's processing the jump. And there they go. So we follow them again. They're now in that system. And we've got another planet here. A couple planets. So this one here is an ocean world as well. Okay, good. We're finding nice colonizable planets nearby. Now this one here is not as colonizable, but it's close enough to ocean planet that we don't get a big penalty. So we've got 80% here, and we've got 60% here, which is interesting. All right, do we keep exploring with them? All right, so we now know what this system is, and it looks like we're pushing out this kind of fog of war. So let's go jump over to this system and see what's there. And then we might double back and see what these two systems are like. So let's queue that up. And we come back over here. Our construction ship is... Okay, so we're already doing what it's telling us to do. And we're already building a mining station, so... Alright. So currently there's the construction ship working. Let's go back to our military fleet. Okay, so not a whole lot in this system, but let's take a look. Oh, wow, we have another ocean world and an Arctic world. Oh, no, wait, that was the system they were already in. I was going to say, that seemed pretty familiar. Okay, so this system, we've got yet another ocean world who has a map, which is a barren world. And that's it. It doesn't look like there's any other habitable planets. It looks like it marks them with this if they're habitable. All right, so let's come back out. And we'll come back over to... We check that system out, I think. So let's go jump into these two systems. So first, we'll go there. And we'll just let them do that. And let's go back to our home system. All right. So a fair number of mineral resources are being discovered by our survey ship here. And I can see actually where they are currently. That's nice.
Vessel. We have discovered spacefaring alien entities that may or may not be intelligent. But let's face it, probably are. Their true nature will remain a mystery to us until we complete the appropriate project to investigate them. I suggest we do so post-haste, lest they investigate us first.
Okay. So we have encountered some form of alien vessel in the Tesla system. These strange objects have been flagged as alpha aliens. Until we can learn more about them, we should proceed with caution. Okay. All right. The Foundation of Testoran Research has finally encountered fellow wanderers among the stars. Despite their intentions being unknown and potentially even hostile, the atmosphere on test following the report from our contact fleet can also be described as rapturous. Okay, so we are xenophiles, so that kind of makes sense. Now, that was in Teslan space, so...
These are unknown spacefaring entities. We can learn more about them and maybe even initiate first contact by completing the appropriate special project.
Okay. So they are yellow. I don't know if that means they're something about them. They look like big space squids. All right, well, let's grab our fleet and have them reroute to our system in case these are hostile. Okay. Doesn't look like they're doing anything hostile. They're just kind of sitting there. Oh, speaking of which, we can do that situation thing. First contact. So we need to research them. Okay, so it is society research. And go to the technology here. So I don't see it here. Oh, here it is. Oh, so it overrides our current research. Let's take a look at that. So yeah, the other techs are going up.
Anomaly found.
Oh, okay. We have, during the survey of our home system, we found something on Old Grug that did not match earlier observations made from our home world. Okay, so we can check this out. It has a 0% failure risk, so I don't see any reason why we wouldn't do that. Anomaly level 1, so let's go ahead and research that. So that is right there, huh? Okay.
We have found an anomaly. From time to time, our science ships will discover strange things while surveying worlds. These can be researched by scientists, but be certain their skills are up to the task.
Alright, so should the research effort fail, there is a small chance of losing either the scientist or the science ship, or if we are especially unlucky, both. Alright, so there is consequences for failing, but there was a 0% fail chance, so that's good to know, though. So there's definitely consequences for anomalies. And here comes our fleet, which we just sent in here. Alright. So let's grab our...
Very good. The new mining station is operational, and it has already begun gathering resources for processing.
Alright, so let's grab our construction ship. And... Alright, so I'm guessing the green number says that we have something built there. Alright, well, we don't quite have the resources yet to build any more stations, I don't think. Yeah, we need 90 to be able to do that, and of course we can't, so... We're just going to have to chill for the meantime. Okay, so these guys were not really needed, so let's send them back over here, which I think is where we were going. We'll kind of just follow them for the meantime, because I don't think... Oh, what are these? Alright, so that's completed. Alright, so I think we already checked that out. So we're researching. And that's going on here. Oh, no, these guys are doing nothing. Okay, so that tells me they're idle, and then these guys are doing something. Got it. Okay. They'll be jumping out soon, so we can go to the next system. Ah, and it takes them a little bit of travel time, too. Good. Good to know. Alright, no habitable worlds here, so let's jump down to this system. And if I queued that correctly... Yep, there they go. Alright, so far I think I'm getting the hang of the interface and everything. We can keep an eye, so... There they go. And there they are. So we've jumped into this system. And... Oh! So we've got something else. Alright, so the anomaly on the moon... shows traces of other interstellar travelers. A weak FTL trail shows that someone was here long ago, maybe watching our planet for potential allies. It is too diminished to trace any further. We should continue to investigate these sorts of anomalies whenever we get the chance. It will most assuredly grant us new knowledge and technology. And then we have the thing here that says, let's find them as a result of the xenophile trait. Okay. So, I don't know if that was part of the tutorial. It could have been, just so you get experience with it. Alright, so our fleet here...
Surface tiles on habitable planets are sometimes blocked, preventing their use. Clearing a tile blocker takes time and costs minerals and energy credits, but the free space often makes it worthwhile.
Alright, so it's saying some of them require specific technologies. Ooh. We've gained a level, so that is our survey ship. Good to know. Okay, so we've got more stuff to do. And as far as our fleet goes, I don't know if we should continue to explore. Let's take a look at the Empire map. It looks like if we were going to explore, I would say these two systems are a good idea. So we'll go there, and then can we... Yeah, we can queue the two. So we'll just let these guys go. I'm assuming it'll give me some kind of pop-up if something bad happens. And then we'll just go back to our home system. All right, so what's going on in our situation log? So we've got... We're doing that survey, and that's ongoing. We've got the technology research, that's ongoing. All right, we're working on that, and then we've got a tile blocker. Okay. So where is our fine ship? It's continuing to do its survey. Let's go to test. And clear one of these blockers. Which one would be the best? I would say probably this energy one. It also looks like it's relatively cheap to get rid of. All right, so we have different categories here. So this is much more expensive to deal with than sprawling slums are. So if we clear the slums, we'll be able to get some energy credits. So let's go ahead and clear them. It's going to cost us some energy credits and some minerals as well, which is going to make it so our construction ship still can't do anything. All right. Well, in any case, I think I'm going to put a cut in the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this introduction to Stellaris. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.